Hello, everybody. Welcome to our spooky season of Cult Classics Podcast. Cameron Jones here, along with my co-host,
Mark Nussle.
Jordan Bone.
There it is. There it is. He's back.
Until you said spooky
everybody.
season, I forgot that that's what we do.
I'm pretty proud of our list this year, and we're going to kick it off with a newer favorite of mine, a nice meta-scary movie, Cabin in the Woods. A group of college students venture to a remote cabin in the woods for a weekend of partying and relaxation. When they arrive, they discover that not everything is as idyllic as it seems. Drawn into the cabin's basement, the teens unwittingly unleash a family of pain-loving zombies called the Buckners. Will they be able to escape their fate, or will overseeing puppeteers make sure they meet their end?
From the guy who brought you Bad Times at the El Royale, Drew Goddard. Starring Bradley Whitford, Richard Jenkins, Jesse Williams, Fran Kranz, Anna Hutchison, Chris Hemsworth, and Kristen Connolly.
Cabin in the Woods. Recasting and crew. To kick it off, Sigourney Weaver, it's kind of just a feature in this, but she plays the director. You, of course, know her from Aliens, Ghostbusters, Avatar, and go back and see our Galaxy Quest. She's in that.
Oh yeah, Galaxy Quest. Yeah.
Did anyone have a good recasting for the director? It's a small one.
I actually did recast Sigourney Weaver before I knew it was her. I'm like, I think this would be. Oh, it is Sigourney Weaver. Damn.
Yeah,
So that was mine.
I did not recast this, but I could maybe come up with something. But did you say you did or you didn't, Cameron?
I didn't actually. This is such a small one, but we have to talk about the fact that Sigourney Weaver's in it, even though it's for
it's a good cameo.
minutes. Next up, let's move it on to Bradley Whitford. He plays Hadley. You'd know him from Get Out, The West Wing, Saving Mr. Banks, and Godzilla, King of the Monsters. If you're me, I remember from Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip, it was like the competitor to 30 Rock, but it was the worst one and it got canceled. Did anyone have a good Hadley? This is like
I was first introduced to him as Billy Madison, his foe.
Yeah. That's kind of where I remember him first from.
So,
It's the West Wing for me. He's the whatever.
For Hadley
director.
and for his counterpart Gary Sitterson, I'm just going a 2 first. So, do you want to hear it now or after we go through?
Give me
Give
that
me the
one.
one, but I have a feeling we'll know the other
just
one
give
by.
okay,
throw it to
fine.
me now, but
All right, Bryan Cranston.
oh, okay.
Cha-ching,
Yeah.
cha-ching, pacoo, pacoo. Nailed that one.
I thought about that. I put Matthew
That's
Perry
actually
there
good. I like that.
just because he
Matthew Perry, weird choice. I'm not hating it though.
He kind of reminds me of Matthew Perry. I don't know. Mark, do you have anyone?
I do. I'm between two guys. I'm gonna do Bill Maher.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't
get
know
that
why.
too. I get it though. It makes sense. Yes. Swarmy. That's your Bill Maher.
I didn't
and
love
Bradley
your reaction,
Whitford.
so I'm going to go with my other one, Phil Hartman.
I love that.
Everybody
I
loves
love
Phil
that.
Hartman.
Yeah, okay, that was better reaction there.
To get the counterpart, we have Richard Jenkins playing Sitterson. Sorry. You would know him from The Shape of Water. For us, probably more Step Brothers, The Visitor, Burn After Reading, Nightmare Alley, and King Kong, Skull Island. Jenkins. I did J.K. Simmons because I think I did him last week and I failed, and I'm trying. I really want him to work.
It definitely entered my mind. I went Steve Buscemi. Get him in Cranston tearing it up.
Okay.
Okay.
Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi.
Yeah. I don't know what you guys heard, but the reaction said you didn't hear it right. Because
I heard Jim Buscemi. Then I heard it was Jim Belushi. So
yeah, definitely nobody's ever saying Jim Belushi. Sorry, John Belushi.
okay.
Mark, do you have anyone good?
Sitterson, David Cross.
Okay, that'd be kind
that's
of
a good
fun.
one.
Oh, do you know what I just thought of? What about Gary Cole? He was like Mr. Jones from Pineapple Express and like the dad
I
from
heard
the Brady
Gary
Bunch.
Coleman. I'm like,
That makes sense. I actually like Mark. Who did you just say?
David Cross.
David Cross would
Yeah,
rock.
that's pretty sweet.
Like
Mark.
big time.
Yeah.
Actually, I would just get Mr. Show together. Get him and Better Paul Saul. Get them both in it.
That wouldn't be bad.
Oh yeah.
What's his name?
Odenkirk.
Yeah, get Steve Odenkirk in it too. That actually probably killed. All right, I've digressed too much. Let's
get on to
keep
the
it moving.
friends. Next up, we have Jesse Williams. He plays Holden. He would know him from Grey's Anatomy, The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. 2.
Oh, I definitely know him from the Sisterhood.
And Brooklyn's Finest. I
do have to mention that in the time I've watched the NBA All-Star Game, Celebrity All-Star Game, he's
really
legit good at basketball play.
Really?
Yeah. He doesn't play anymore. He had a knee injury in a Celebrity All-Star flag football game during their Celebrity Weekend, but he's a good basketball player.
I can only remember Kevin Hart and the guy from the Arcade Fire.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arcade Fire was legit. He took it a little too seriously, and he was 6'8", but he was good. You also had I can do it.
Holden, I did Caleb McLaughlin. You would know him from Stranger Things.
Oh, sure.
I don't know. He's
kind of this is kind of a like a sweetheart role, you know. He's kind of the timid.
He's kind of nice in it, and I've never used him before, so that was me trying.
You know, he looks like Robert Richard from Cousin Skeeter on Nickelodeon back in the day with the puppet.
I get you.
He looks like him. That's not who I'm picking. I'm going to pick Jesse Bradford from Clock Stoppers Clock Stoppers and whatever. Bring It On.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
I didn't have a good one, so I'm just going to pass it and not hold anybody back.
Totally fine.
Holden, that's his name. Oh, my God.
Next up, we're going to do Fran Kranz, who plays Marty, the stoner. You might know him from
like this, Cameron.
Mass, The Village, or The Dark Tower.
Or if you're an Always Sunny head,
is he in Sunny?
Just one episode, the Who Pooped the Bed. He's the the college student who examines the turd. He's like, there's a lot of credit card in here.
I have a weird one. Daniel Radcliffe, current Daniel Radcliffe.
Weird.
Interesting.
That is weird. Like I could see it.
What was the
that
show?
He could play a stoner.
He plays like God the
Miracle Workers.
He's interesting in like kind of quirky Miracle Workers. I'm kind of imagining a version of that guy, you know, which I think is him. Which I think is a version of that guy.
I think he could do it.
Thank you. Who do you got?
I'm not saying he couldn't do it. It just seems like a weird role for him. He seems more of just based off his mannerisms, like an upper versus a mellower. If he was like a coked up guy,
I got you. Yeah,
I definitely went more chalky stoner vibes. Pick out of the hat any guy from Workaholics. I'll do Adam Devine.
I thought you were going to go Half Baked, and I thought it was going to be something Williams. I can't remember his first name.
Actually, Anders Holm. He could be funnier.
Is he the long hair one?
No, he's the business one.
He's the taller one.
Yeah.
Okay. Mine I don't feel great about, but I wrote it down. That's what I'm going. I'm going Michael Cera.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm fine with
I like it.
I don't know if I see him as like the funny stone. Yeah, I mean, I can see it.
It's different.
Like it. It's paranoid. It's way more paranoid.
Yes. It's more subconscious. He does have it's his version of it, but I saw it. I thought it. I liked it.
Next up, we're going to do Anna Hutchison. She plays Jules. You might know her from Robert the Bruce, Encounter, Vengeance, A Love Story. She looks
and a bunch
familiar.
of just TV stuff.
Yeah, I don't really know her from anything in particular. Jules. Who did I do? I did Teresa Palmer from Warm Bodies. She's the love interest in that.
Oh.
She's, I think, Australian.
Yeah, she is, I believe.
I just saw her in something else today, and I can't remember what I was watching.
I'm going to go Amber Heard.
Okay.
And Cameron, I saw your eyes.
No, yeah, I immediately thought back to the trial, and I'm like, I don't like her. I just thought, as a person, I don't think I like her. You know?
No, yeah.
But I didn't want to necessarily say that to your. I'm not shading on her acting, which isn't great.
She's probably willing to pop the tarp off.
Oh, I don't know. Has she been making anything? I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Didn't have a great one for that, so pass.
Okay, that's fine.
Fair.
Up next, we have
No. You can't just. You got to pick someone. I think.
Okay.
American Pie. Just go.
Tara Reid?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Just go like a 90s version of this.
Tara Reid. There you go.
There you go. Ding, ding,
nice
ding,
pick,
ding.
Jordan.
Up next, we have Chris Hemsworth playing Kurt. You obviously know him as Thor from the Avengers. Around this time, though.
Which came out the same year, Thor.
Isn't that insane?
There's some fun facts about the filming and the releases of this, which is why he kind of exploded in this year. He was also in, same year, Snow White and the Huntsman, Red Dawn, and if you haven't seen the Extraction movies on Netflix, they're kind of good. They're him just as like a mercenary, but they're good.
I feel like I'd like that.
I'll field this question first. It's Paul Walker. Did Paul Walker.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't hate that. I love that. Yeah.
Yep. That's That's right there. I did Channing Tatum.
Like that?
He's
That's
funny.
great too.
I think you guys are going to hate this.
Probably better.
I'm basing this off the version we have of him now. This generation Ryan Gosling, where he's funny and quirky again. But I want his. He was kind of skinnier, so he's not. He's a receiver. He's not a quarterback, maybe, but
I get what you're thinking. But for whatever Gosling's,
he's funny and
mannerism
quirky,
doesn't work. He is.
No. Yeah, that's all I had. I didn't have a good one.
I also wrote down Chris Evans. Could have been that. Could have been a million people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chris Evans is funny. That works for me. Lastly, we have Kristen Connolly as Dana. You might remember her from The Happening, Meet Dave, or The Bay. I know I saw The Happening, but I don't remember her or much of it, to be honest.
Oh, I definitely never saw that, right? Because I don't fucking... I've been tricked since. We all watched Told. It was a pandemic, but I never saw that.
Watch Devil, the elevator one. That one's fun.
No.
Or no, watch... No, I'm sorry. Watch... Oh, that might be him. Watch that. Just watch it.
I actually like mine, Amanda Seyfried. I think she'd be really good as this character.
I thought about it, but I thought someone else might do it, so I left it out there. I did Karen Gillian from like the Marvel universe. She's the robot-y one. She's also in Jumanji, the redhead. They look pretty similar.
That works. I definitely had a long list of redheads, but I went Amanda Seyfried. If you want to, dye her hair red. That's fine with me.
Yeah, I guess if I was going to go redhead, I'd do the Zombieland Emma Stone.
Oh,
sure.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But Anna Kendrick.
Oh, yeah.
And who was the director for this again?
Written and directed by Drew Goddard. Bad Times at the El Royale.
A movie, if you're a listener, you've heard us go on about this. Great aesthetic.
Chris Hemsworth also.
Could have been good, just very long. Yeah, we'll find out. He made a lot of connections from this movie and contractually had to do other things. I'm pretty sure this is what got him Red Dawn, if I'm not mistaken, or vice versa.
Oh, Red Dawn, definitely never saw that remake. You don't remake classics or modern day classics. Bad Times at the El Royale, everything you want from that for some reason isn't quite there. We get from the Good Guys movie with Ryan Gosling,
right.
And that hits. The other one doesn't for whatever reason.
Written by Drew Goddard and Joss Whedon.
Oh, who does everything? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he did the screenplay for Toy Story. It looks like here.
Which
also,
one? Toy Story 7 or Toy Story 10?
The Orig.
The Orig? Nice.
Also, Buffy the Vampire Slayer was Joss Whedon. Joss, Joss. Very odd. The Avengers, and then Drew Goddard. Executive produced a lot of stuff. The Martian.
Oh, good book. Good movie.
And the TV Daredevil.
I hear people like that a lot, but I haven't seen it. Or maybe I think people like that. And The Flash.
And then music by David Julian, who did The Prestige and Insomnia.
Can't remember the music. I'm going to recast that to John Williams every week.
Every week.
Maybe Danny Elfman. We're going to move it on from now. Let us know what you thought of our recasting and crew, but we're going to do Unverified. Welcome to Unverified, and welcome to the Cult Classic Movie Phone. It's April 2012, and currently in theaters you could have seen Titanic, the 25th anniversary. We're back in theaters, boys. Did you see it?
No, I was like 24 probably at the time, so I could see boobs wherever I wanted.
That's fair. American Reunion with Jason Biggs and the gang. I didn't see it in theaters, but I saw it.
I liked it. It gave me what I wanted from it.
The Hunter with Willem Dafoe. A poster I've seen a lot. I've seen the thumbnail like on streaming, but I haven't seen it. ATM with Josh Peck and Peter Safran. I might have seen it. I can't remember. I think it's when someone's just at an ATM and there's like a killer outside and he's like trapped. It's like a phone booth thing.
Yeah, I was about to say, it seems very phone boothy.
Yeah. The Three Stooges with Will Sasso, Chris Demontopoulos, and Sean Hayes.
And that's not a biography. That's not a biopic. They
did a remake thing, but it was a reboot.
Did you say biopic or biopic?
You can do either. I say both. I change it up. Whatever's the version of Caramel, that's what I guess that's biopic. I don't know.
Think Like a Man with Kevin Hart, Megan Good, and Gabrielle Union. I may have seen it. I definitely not in theaters.
I don't think I've seen any of these movies yet.
The Lucky One with Zac Efron. I only remember Charlie St. Cloud around this time. This you might have seen, The Raven with John Cusack. That was that Edgar Allan Poe thing with him. Not great, but it was fine.
Definitely on my radar for a while. Never
give it a go. It's fine. It's not great.
I never took the bait, but I definitely was like, I'll probably watch it sometime.
Here we go. This one I know you've seen, The 5-Year Engagement with Jason Segel and Emily Blunt.
Sometimes the biggest balls are the ones unused.
Bernie with Matthew McConaughey, Jack Black, and Shirley MacLaine. I think I watched that at home with our parents.
Quickly, just because it's on the top of my head, what's an underrated Matthew McConaughey movie that you recommend? I'll go first. 1, 2, 3. Mud.
Sahara.
Watch Mud. It's a good movie.
It was at the theater when I started working there. It's an action adventure, plane in the desert or boat. I can't remember.
I saw it. Oh, I'm thinking Fool's Gold.
I don't know.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking Fool's Gold.
That's not underrated.
Fool's Gold. No,
Sahara came out too.
Oh, yeah, Sahara's a movie. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Lockout with Guy Pearce and Maggie Grace. Unfamiliar. Don't remember this one.
Wow, this was a busy month.
And finally, we have Touchback with Kurt Russell. But you chose Cabin in the Woods. And I have to say, this had a confusing release date. There's also like an Australia 2011. And look that one up because that month had some good releases. But that's what we got.
You weren't alone. I don't know if this was a sleeper hit or, to me, this was a post in theater hit, streaming or renting. But the budget was $30 million. It made $66.5 million. So
not bad.
It was a financial success. It launched at least the career of one of these people, or was part of the launching process, right?
True.
Right.
Just real quick,
Bradley Woodford.
Just real quick, this is the first fact they have. The thermal coffee mug bong was fully functional, and it was a prototype, and it cost $5,000 to make. But it exists now. That was the first one of its kind.
Worth it.
I remember seeing that early when we moved to Chicago, being like, that's fucking awesome.
And it was fully It's crazy that it cost that much, though. That's a lot. I remember hearing this at the time, and this one's kind of interesting. So during the lake scene, you might notice that Franz Kranz doesn't jump in the water. And throughout the movie, he wears baggy clothing. And that was because he was, quote, in a lot better shape than his co-stars. And Chris Hemsworth wasn't like ripped then. But they said it was weird. He looked like a ripped, muscular Jesus.
Oh, he was ripped.
Yeah, so they had to put him in baggy stuff so the stoner character would be believable. And that's why he never gets in the water.
Cool.
Fran Kranz. Who would have thunk?
Fran Kranz. It's Fran Crayon.
Fran Kranz.
Fran Kranz.
I've got here that Joss Whedon and Drew Goddard locked themselves in a, what does it say, hotel room or something, and then they came up with the screenplay, the script in just 3 days.
That's crazy to me because this is a funny original. I mean, I'm sure it got a lot of touch-ups and stuff, but that's sweet.
Yeah.
A lot of the times when I hear someone say, can you believe we made this in like so many days or wrote it in like a week? I'm like, yeah, I can see that.
The answer's often,
yeah.
What'd you do with the other 10 days?
Smoked.
Yeah.
The movie's opening was a deliberate attempt by Drew Goddard and Joss Whedon to confuse the audience and make them think they walked in to see the wrong movie. I liked that.
Oh, all right.
Back to that fact that we were alluding to. During production, MGM saw the dailies of Chris Hemsworth, and on that basis, they signed him on to Red Dawn. And then 2 days later, he was also chosen to play Thor. So all that happened kind of, from Cabin in the Woods, but also like years previous because it got shelved for a long time. I have to exactly find it, but it was made for like film festivals, and it got bought by maybe 20th Century Fox, and then they shelved it, and then it got re-picked up. So this movie actually was made years ago, and that's kind of why Chris Hemsworth exploded.
Right.
Like it was just it was shelved and ready to go, and then he was already.
You occasionally see that. All of a sudden, somebody has a breakout year. It's like they've got 3 movies that came out this year. It's like, yeah, well, they made them over the last 5 years.
Because someone liked him, then they got contractually obligated to make the other 2, and then they're all out right now, so you know who he is.
Great for people when that happens.
Yeah.
It really puts you in the
great
zeitgeist for everybody.
Yeah, worked great.
There's a lot of these like facts that seemed like totally unnecessary in movies that we do. This is one. Fran Kranz received extensive prop and behavior training in order to capture the stoner essence of Marty. He received a 2-hour joint rolling session and a separate bong lighting session from expert consultants. It's like, did we really need to do anything?
Didn't go unnoticed. It looked legit.
I will say it was good representation, but you could have cut to James Cameron's hands there, and I wouldn't have given a shit. Show him roll that joint. Like, it's fine. I don't care. It's fine. The other rituals that we see from the different countries, what they were alluding to was the Kyoto ritual in Ringu for the ring. That'd be Japan. Buenos Aires ritual is Hong Kong, or is King Kong. The Stockholm ritual is John Carpenter's The Thing, and the Madrid appears to be a Dracula reference. So those were the other monsters that the other countries were dealing with. Here's a little fun inside horror kind of fact for you. Heather Langenkamp, who plays Nancy in A Nightmare on Elm Street, she actually served as one of the members of the actual makeup crew on this film because, that's what she does now. Her husband is an SFX artist. But she was credited under a different name so that she wouldn't get any, attachment or notoriety from the film.
Okay.
But the main character from Nightmare on Elm Street did makeup on this. The last things I have are just kind of have you guys ever paused it to see all the monsters they have on the whiteboard and stuff? Because some of them are kind of funny.
Oh, I remember taking it in, but I don't remember. Do you have some for us?
Yeah,
there's
funny.
Kind of two fun freeze frames that they gave us. One is just that Kevin is on the name Kevin is one of the monsters on the board. That is a wink to Elijah Wood's character in Sin City. Oh, also, the character that holds the weird sphere and has the saws in his head. His name is Fornicus, Lord of Bondage and Pain. If you see that on the board, that's who that guy is. I tried really hard this time to catch it. If you notice the intern in the background when all hell's breaking loose is holding up a sign to the camera, and I was trying to read it, but it says, "Help me, I'm in the utility closet. A dragon bat has my scent. I'm Ronald the intern." But it's pretty hard to read. And that's pretty much all I have, really, though. Anyone else have anything good?
I just like the part on the whiteboard when she's like, "Well, I picked zombies too," and he's like, "Well, no, this is the Reddick torture family zombies." One last one I have is immediately after an early preview screening with fan questions and answers, the first question director Drew Goddard received was, "Will there be a sequel?" To which he responded, "Have you seen the ending to my movie?"
Yeah, it kind of answers itself. The last thing I have actually is I wish we had some DVD features here because the person who plays the Harbinger, Tim DeZarn, was cast.
He was funny.
Using a scene where they told him to fight with a vending machine over $1 while remarking on some big existential ideas like his character would. So his audition was him just fighting with a vending machine as the Harbinger.
Wait, am I on speaker?
That part got
Oh,
me.
man, come on. I don't know who's listening. That part's fucking great.
Let us know if you have any other good facts out there. But for now, we're going to move it on to questions.
Comments.
Animosities.
Questions, comments, animosity.
Question that I have right away. That's just the Evil Dead cabin, right?
Yeah, the first time I saw this, I was like, "Oh, that's pretty much the Evil Dead cabin."
Yeah.
I think I saw that they made an homage to a few things, but that's the big one for sure.
Do you guys remember the previews for this film at all? Because I do.
No.
I'll be honest. I didn't see this movie until years after it came out, and this one kind of went under the radar for me for a long time. I don't even remember it being a movie that came out.
I love scary movies, and I saw this one in theaters, but I remember being really skeptical because the previews were like, "You won't imagine the twist at the end," and then it showed audiences being like, "What?" From the theater. But I was like, they're gonna give me an unnecessary M. Night Shyamalan twist, and I was just confused because it was showing all these monsters and stuff. So I just didn't know how this all fit together.
I almost wish they wouldn't even do that. Let us go in blind.
100% agree. Make it just seem like the cabin zombie thing, then give me that. Don't tell me there's that twist. But it still surprised me, and I was still so happy with it.
No, just does a movie like this? No, no. The answer is no for me. But does it ruin the viewing experience the times you watch it after the first time?
Nah,
no.
It's still funny. If anything, you just kind of catch more little inside things or things
more
you
Easter
missed.
eggs.
Yeah.
Sure.
From my standpoint, though, it's been a while since I've watched it. One, I was surprised it came out in 2011 or 2012, whatever you choose. I thought it was a 15, 16 year, so it surprised me that it was that old.
I agree.
But I haven't watched it probably for 10 years or something. It's not a perennial watch or anything like that for me. So although I knew how it ended and I remembered that, I forgot a lot of the nuance leading up to the end.
It isn't, but
really
it
funny.
might join the rotation now.
It's like a modern classic.
It's a pleasant
almost, to
surprise.
me.
It's a pleasant
And
surprise.
it's so
for me.
short and
it's-
watchable.
Yeah.
It's really short.
Let's say that for people, just in case
90
they
minutes.
forget. What's our runtime? God, perfect.
It's like an hour
You can do it, guys.
32.
Perfect.
It was perfect, yeah.
And I'll say this, like, I already knew Chris Hemsworth was like going to be Thor and like a big star. At this point, it was like already kind of being talked about. But he won me over.
Oh, I thought Cameron's that guy's got moxie.
No, he was like
I see it.
He was already like, again, Red Dawn and like the Huntsman, all this shit was coming out at the same time. But I remember this was the first one of those movies I saw, and I remember it just won me over. I'm like, oh, he's funny. I like him. I'll watch those other movies. So I don't know if that did it for other people and that helped him rise, but got me.
I saw Thor before I saw Cabin in the Woods, so it surprised me going back. You're like, oh, okay. All right. And Thor's kind of funny, right?
Yeah, they get funnier as they go.
Depending on the movie. Yeah. The aspect I like most about this movie, and I think we all agree, is the Bradley Whitford character. Like, it adds so much that they have this twist or meta quality about it, right?
Yeah. The I think the rules from Scream, which it reminded me a lot of. Yeah.
However, I think that if it just started off before we see that twist, before you know what's going on, the horror part stands up as a normal horror movie. It's not quite to parody level. Does that make sense?
I agree.
I think it's closer to Scream, where it's like, this is a horror movie with a twist that's funny.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Where it's not heavy.
It's not comedy horror. It's horror comedy. Does that make sense?
100% agree.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. And just again, I'm so happy that the twist wasn't like wasn't unnecessary. It was just kind of like a fun little meta twist.
It's like a horror version of the Truman Show.
Yeah.
I do have an overlying question about what's going on with the sacrifices.
Okay.
We can get there unless
let's jump in.
Okay, so we obviously know that they're sacrificing. They have like 6 different scenarios, right? Mm-hmm. We're just watching the Cabin in the Woods version, but there's this live television show for what? The gods? Is that what we're?
Yes. Yeah, but again, I think this is the only one stateside. Then we just have those 6 we saw.
Japan,
but it's like
Buenos
all
Aires.
For the same problem, right?
Yeah.
We're all doing this for the gods.
Yeah.
Now, does that just mean? Is the rest is the whole world gone, or is it just like where we're at?
Yeah, I think they're rising from all the other countries and taking over.
Okay.
Yeah, world domination.
Good. So I agree with that, and I think that's what happened. So the real question is, can you just sacrifice anybody? Does it have to be from the program?
See,
that
was my thought. When they unleash the creatures, wouldn't that just huge slaughter of the whole facility be good enough? Like, well, you guys did kill 700 people.
Well, it has to be with the archetypes of like to the tropes of like a scary movie. You got the jock, you got the stoner, you got the whore.
So it has to be from like their scenario. It can't just be anybody.
At least in the American one, because there's the Japanese ritual that's more like the J horror, like the Ringu or whatever.
Now, can you do it piecemeal, or does it have to be all from one scenario?
That's where my biggest plot hole comes in. Is like, can I get a little bit of here, a little bit of there, and the gods are pleased enough?
Sacrifice is a sacrifice.
That shouldn't be that hard at all. Yeah, really. But no, I'm going to say no. No, it has to be all in one. Yeah, because they say like he has to die before her for it to work, kind of thing. So it seems like there's a lot of
So there's protocols to it, and that's what you're pulling all the levers for, and that's what the control room's doing. But then, how did they not know that the stoner was not dead? They pulled the lever on his blood. Big question. That's my biggest question in the movie.
They
a lot of blood.
Didn't have any cameras in that elevator shaft. Do you hear the noise? You assume. The blind spot. Just a blind spot.
That is my only gripe with the ending. I do love the twist. I love the ending. But I think if you didn't have the whole world domination, like you could have done like a whole like even franchise, like a Cabin in the Woods 2, 3, with the two with Whitford and
was that a purposeful way to be like, hey, don't make shitty movies after this of this? Or
I think so. I think that's
be like,
the point.
Hey, it's all done. We did this. It's good. Which I appreciate. I mean, it's a good standalone.
It just would have been fun to have like I don't know if you call it like a prequel or like an equal.
Okay.
From like the Japan's.
I was about to say, what about
I get what you're saying though.
Same timesies? Yeah. What if we just get Japan, Buenos Aires? What if we get those stories? You find
so no matter how we do it though, I need the control room to be part of it.
Yeah, 100%.
Those two guys are the continuing. Because
I was even okay with other control room people. Like let it be a new cast.
Okay.
But like. You know,
yeah,
I would see that.
It's sort of. I did think this when I was watching it. This was like a Black Mirror, a funny Black Mirror episode
or something.
Yeah. Let's copy that. Let's make the facility.
Okay, we can sell that to Netflix. It's all the other stories, and then it's a prequel. It's like 70s Cabin in the Woods, 80s Cabin in the Woods.
We couldn't, but some people could. Like Jerry Seinfeld.
We're at least
could.
putting it
They
out in
seem
the
to-
ether, guys. Someone might be listening and be like, oh, I'll do that. A question to you guys and an animosity. Would you sleep in that cabin? Because I hate how willing people are in movies to get into like old, what you know are musty smelling blankets and like, no, there's not a chance I'm sleeping on that RV.
I would sleep in the cabin
I'll get drunk
in the
in it,
scenario.
yeah.
Well, Cameron, if you get drunk in it, you can call sleeping what you want, but you're going to rest your eyes, definitely. You're going to wake up in the morning and close your eyes at night. You leave at the bottom. You leave when you see the basement. The basement's...
Oh, you don't go in the basement. The moment that opens up, you either shut it immediately or go to the RV. Party in the RV?
Yeah, you do have an RV. That's true.
Well,
But if you're at a murder house, do you want to be the first line of defense in the RV, Cameron?
Sure, I'm not going to the basement. That's just horror 101, you know?
No. No, I'm not saying go to the basement. Basement, take that out. You're just saying old creepy house, don't like the paintings, don't like the two-way mirror.
Yeah.
I'm going to alert to the two-way mirror for a different reason. It's going to be because Jordan's on the other side of that getting naked, and whoa.
But Mark's going to wait till he's fully undressed, then knock and be like, hey, can see your
I'd be
wiener.
like, hey, Mark, I'm going to go change. Definitely don't watch.
Sorry, little prick, dude.
Hey, it's the mirror. It takes away like 6 inches from the dick.
Oh, also,
It's the opposite of a fun mirror.
why would you read the Latin? Like, maybe read it. If she read that in her head, same effect. Because it seems like everyone else, if they wore it, if they touched it, like they were close.
I do have that question. One, don't read the Latin. Don't even read the book.
No, not at all.
Don't read. In fact, don't read books. Just blanket statement.
I think Marty had it right. It's like when we get to the husband bulge and he's like, what the fuck is this? And he's trying to stop it. Yeah, stop.
You brought up a point that I'm wondering about. If you read in your head, does it count, or do you have to? I assume you have to utter it out loud.
I think so, but at the same time, Chris Hemsworth or someone was about to just like put on a necklace, and then like that's all it would have taken. So I mean, maybe she just had to read it. I think maybe just in her head.
I'm not even. Yeah. Well, what is it? Fuck this.
And on top of that, does it have to be actual? Like, do you have to
Right.
nail the Latin? Because who knows Latin?
The one guy, the new
Doctus
guy coming in.
Dominus. Yeah, especially don't read it like that.
We did talk about it earlier, but I do just want to say comment. I feel like it was good, funny representation of a stoner in a film where they didn't just kill him right away, or at least he got to come back for the end.
Comic relief though does come back sometimes. Limps across the finish line.
I'm happy he did
you know?
again. I'm happy they gave it to us.
To me, he's a little bit of a caricature of a stoner, but I like it. It hits for me. But I suppose they're all a little bit of caricatures of horror movies.
Right.
But it works for me. I miss the stoner. Like now that weed's legal and kids are evolved or something to some new being, I just miss the plucky comic relief stoner in
I
movies.
get it. Now it's just your average guy. Now it's just Tom, middle-aged man.
I do like when they're just nonchalantly like smoking a J at the end, just knowing that the world's gonna end.
Okay, if we're gonna talk about that, what would you, if you were her, would you shoot him?
You gotta kill him.
Yeah,
You've seen enough that you have to be like, it seems like it's happening.
you know it's real, and even if you die, just everyone's gonna die if you don't do it.
Yeah.
Seems like you should have. So her bad. Is that what we're all kind of agreeing here?
Her bad. Sorry, Marty.
This one doesn't even feel like a Sophie's Choice. It's like at the end, it's when Lisa has to choose between Homer and Marge. She's like, Mom, it's like that easy of the choice. It's so quick. Just go quickly. There's no dilemma for me. And you guys agree, right? I agreed with you as well.
Yeah, you got to kill him.
Marty's being a little selfish too. Like,
I agree.
You're gonna die either way too. Don't be rude, Marty.
Also, she would have been already beaten to death when she was just getting thrown around the dock. If you spit blood,
I love that.
if you project
that we
the
don't
party,
see it happening, but we see her getting the shit beat out of her on the dock the whole time.
I like how it even
It's
like
very
leads into it. It's like, you know what? I'm actually kind of rooting for her. I feel bad for tequila, and then just like mid sentence stops.
I mean, there's so many good jokes, but when you brought that up, it reminded me of how funny that was. Having that said, she'd be so banged up after that.
If you projectile blood, you're sure shit not running again or like, walking probably.
Getting a bear trap like slung to the back, like to your back, would suck too.
The amount of people that get lifted off their feet by that force, like I'm gonna be just writhing the rest of the night from that. It got my back meat. Oh my god!
How did Marty survive? What did he get like hit with in the back?
A
Was it just
trowel,
knife or something?
and then he
Oh, right.
dismembered him with a trowel.
That's right.
Very dull.
That part was funny.
Do they? This is maybe embarrassing, but how did he get? Did we ever explain how he got out of there? Or did we see it?
It just seemed he was hiding down there and fucking with wires. It seems like he was just looking at it that for like an hour. That's it.
Okay,
yeah, I think that's just all. How would you try to survive this scenario? What's your play here? Which character are you? I'm probably the stoner.
I don't know, but getting stabbed.
They don't have a schlubby friend that just sits on the couch and gets murdered.
Okay, so we're all Marty. Okay, cool.
We're Marty. Mark.
The worst way to die would be unicorn horn to the tummy. There's a lot of bad ways to die. But
I actually think the worst thing that we saw was Bear Trap.
Yeah, I might agree with that too.
Like Bear Trap looks rough. You're saying
nope.
We're just talking about Cabin in the Woods.
I got you. Nope. The worst looking one were the people that were like the strangers that were like just tying up those people and pouring gasoline on them. Those people are just going to slowly burn to death.
Mm.
Oh, you're talking about like the coworkers and the
at the end.
Oh, geez, there's so many. I just really don't want to get chased by a big bat. You're going down anyway. That's just a tough way to live out your
or sucked off by a merman. Oh, come on.
Scarecrow people are pretty scary.
The merman. It is going to be a bad cleanup.
It's almost worth rewatching it, just those couple scenes, just to see all the stuff I'm sure I missed. All the different type of murders.
I have this written down that it would be like a sick like horror game where you're just like an office worker and then you just have to try to escape the building or something.
Oh, that'd be kind of sweet. We are coming up with so many good content ideas here.
Funny enough,
please.
Then I looked into this a little more. There was almost a Left 4 Dead Cabin in the Woods crossover campaign.
That could be cool.
But the DLC was canceled. But there are
Left 4 Dead was fun. Okay, I take it back. Biggest animosity of the movie. Why would there be a button for those elevators that bring staff down to bring the monsters into the building? Why would there be a purge button?
Yeah, I don't know. That actually seems... Yeah, that seems like...
Monster elevators and human elevators should not be able to crisscross applesauce at all.
Right.
Like, that's an insane idea. I want them locked away with their own separate rising elevator system.
Oh, that does lead me... This is... Because of that, are the people that were in these movie scenarios, the characters we were watching in the Cabin in the Woods, do they live on our plane of Earth? Is everything the same, or are they in a simulation or something?
Wait, what?
I had a similar question, yeah.
Are the people that are in the control room, the Bradley Whitford crew, the people running the show, and then our main characters in Cabin in the Woods?
Essentially,
yeah. Are we all in the same plane of like existence, or are they in like an alternate reality?
I
was a little confused.
I think it's the same.
I think it's the same reality. It's just, like we can see the gods below them when we get deep enough. I think they're just in the earth. I think below us is angry gods.
Okay, but they're running a TV show and they're like, we have this Cabin with the Woods set up for all of our,
Yeah.
It's like a practical joke show, only it's, murdering and the end.
Do you think the gods actually have screens, or do you think they can just sense and feel and see all?
I assume they're watching on a screen. Otherwise, what's the fucking point of making it a TV show? Like, right? I guess maybe I'm too literal with that.
They need to see what's happening. I think it's for them to control, Jordan. I don't think it's for the gods.
Oh, okay. Well, from my standpoint, they were just watching.
From what I understand, they're omniscient and all-powerful beings. And
so, what's the blood for? Just because?
Theatrics, Jordan. It's all for. It's like they want to see the boobs and they want the gore.
Jordan, you were kind of questioning this earlier about how do they fit the archetypes of these certain things, the gaseous stuff that they kind of flow into the room, like that makes, because it wasn't Jules, she was like book smart and they had to make her want to strip off her clothes, and then they had to
and then same with Chris Hemsworth,
they had to make them fit into the
okay,
roles.
You're right. So it wasn't necessarily that they were making them find the roles. I will say, out of the pulling the strings, the funniest one is, we can't split up. We have to stay together. And then Chris Hemsworth gets gas. He's like, no, we got to split up.
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
maybe the nod to horror movies I like the most.
Yep.
That little tidbit.
There's a similar one when Marty's hearing the voices, and I like when he's like, I'm the master of my thoughts. I'm going for a walk. that one's kind of funny.
There's a lot of good Marty things. Why don't you go kiss that moose on the wall?
Quick question. Halloween movie? Yay or nay?
Yeah, because it's still your classic fall teen slasher Cabin in the Woods kind of thing. So yeah, And then you get other monsters and scares. So I say
Halloween movie?
Seasonal, yeah.
You want to hear an unpopular opinion?
Oh. Summer slasher?
I feel like because it's so funny.
It's a little more summer slasher to me.
Yeah.
Do you put Scream? I feel like the cabin.
But
it's school time. The cabin looks fallish. There's leaves on the ground.
It is very.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying for me, Halloween movies are not necessarily just horror movies. The aesthetic has to play into it for me, and it didn't. But you can, if you're just a watch horror movie person for Halloween.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that
I think are the mass majority.
This one falls more under it though, because it's seasonally that time. So I feel like when it's fall, it gives me some leeway.
Yeah, it got me jazzed to watch some. You're like, oh yeah, Halloween.
Yeah, I lean that way as well.
I've already been going deep. I'm already ruining things.
Cameron's already moved on to Christmas movies.
Terrifier 3, I think, is a Christmas movie coming out pretty soon. I really don't have any like questions or comments animosities as much as just I really liked the movie. It was funny. I was skeptical from the previews, and it was just a happy surprise in the theater. It's like this and Monster House were maybe some of my happiest surprises going into a theater, being kind of unaware of what I was seeing.
I've gone to some movies without any idea of what the plot was. Zombieland was a big one for me. Had no idea what it was about. That was a pleasant surprise. This one you introduced me. It was In Bruges. I went in blind, and it's one of my favorite movies.
Happy surprise, especially because it sounded so boring.
I don't even know what it was. I think I saw it as a double feature, and it was like not like a planned double feature. I snuck into it or something like in college.
I'd say overall, we all enjoy this movie, and let us know if it makes its way into your Halloween classics or if it's just a summer slasher.
Can I say an argument why it may not be a Halloween classic for me? Because I can watch it all year round. Mm-hmm. I don't need to watch it for the season. Like I could watch that in 2 months. I could watch this in December, and I'm like, this is just a funny good movie.
Whereas like a Trick or Treat is harder to watch in June.
Yeah. I got to savor. I can't burn it out.
I gotcha.
That's my only argument. But I do like this movie quite a bit.
With that, we're going to move it on to Mount Rushmore, top 4.
Mount Rushmore, top 4.
Mount Rushmore, top 4. This episode, we're doing our favorite funny, scary movies. Let's go Mark, Jordan, me, and then we'll round it out together. What's your favorite funny, scary movie?
I am going to go a more recent one that I just watched. It's an A24 film, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
Oh, the Pete Davidson one. I didn't know what to expect when I watched it because I went in blind, but yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I think I've watched like 3/4 of that, but I never finished the end because just I have kids now.
Well, what's your choice, actually? You're up next.
I don't know how scary this is, but sorry if you're gonna. I gotta go. Shaun of the Dead.
No, I was hoping it would be.
It's a real horror. It's a real horror movie. It's absolutely hilarious, but it's a real zombie movie. So that's what I'm going.
I saw that in the theater, thinking it was going to be more of a stoner comedy, and I remember just being so happily surprised, like, oh, this is kind of like a dry British like comedy. Really took me by surprise.
That's a really.
But it's a true, accurate zombie movie, right? There's no disagreement there.
Nope.
I'm between two here, but I mean, I have to go Scream. Initially, I mean, that's kind of the scary movie that got me more into the genre, just because it was cross-genre and it was funny, and I don't know. It was kind of a big one when I was younger. It was one of the earlier scary movies I remember being allowed to watch without having to like close my eyes.
It crosses over an actual horror movie. It's a teenage movie too. It's like a 90s teenage movie, and it's meta and it's fun. So that was on my list of short movies. I'll go the honorable mentions. I got some.
Throw them out.
This is going to be a trope, but Zombieland is as well a comedy. Zombie movies just lead themselves.
It makes it on there
to actual scares and a lot of jokes.
I was going to throw this one out, but I mean, this is more, I think, just comedy. But Ghostbusters 1 and/or 2. Where's that lie for you?
I think Ghostbusters is fine.
There's a scary moment or two in those.
Yeah, I would say yeah. I mean, maybe not adult, but they're scary for kids. When I was younger, I got scared of that librarian. Still do.
I almost want to put Pee-wee's Big Adventure for Large Marge. That's not at all there, but that terrified me.
That is scary. Yeah.
Yeah,
that works.
Have you guys seen Freaky with Vince Vaughn?
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh yeah, I liked it.
It's your
It
body
worked for me.
switch in, but he's the serial killer one. Yeah, it was good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I had high expectations for it, so that kind of ruined my view for it. But it was good. I do recommend this. Ready or Not. It's with Samantha Weaver. She's like the bride, and it's essentially a game of hide and seek to the death, but it's really fun.
On Disney Plus.
It's really funny. Adam Brody's in it.
Oh, that's the one I was talking about. As they play board games, right? In the Rich. I do like that one. That one's good.
Funny. Check that out if you've never seen it.
I will check that out.
One that I ignored for a long time also, but check out Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. I believe it's with, what's the redhead's name from? Alan Tudyk. They just play, it's two rednecks who get mistaken for killers, and it's from essentially it's from a killer's point of view, but a big misunderstanding.
I don't think I know that one. What's that one called?
Tucker and Dale vs. Evil.
I've never seen that one.
Give it a go.
For whatever reason, I know I said some comedies, but because the Scary Movies franchise are spoofs or parodies, I kind of don't put them in this category.
Oh yeah, no, they don't count. They're not scary enough. They're just comedies.
Yeah.
For something we've done.
Oh, I've seen this thumbnail, the Tucker and Dale, but I've never seen it.
Any of the Evil Deads. I don't think. I mean,
oh sure.
Yeah,
they get good chuckles out of me. I don't think it's overly funny, but I mean, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That's also an overtop one.
Jennifer's Body is on this list I'm looking at.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's like a satire-y, like.
So there's a lot of Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So bad they're funny or whatever.
Yeah.
Not Night of the Living Dead. What's the one where she puts like lipstick?
Return.
Oh no, Night of the Demons.
Night of the Demons would be in that category. It is funny. It is bad. It is scary. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I did stay away from just B cult, weird movies like that, and went for intentionally funny for the most part, except for, I think Evil Dead is trying to be funny, right?
I don't know.
I think
actually.
Evil Dead is.
The last one I have kind of a newer one that I'm pretty sure all of you have seen, The Menu with Ray Fiennes.
I was literally just because I'd forgotten what it was called. I was trying to look it up. I'm like, what is that Ray Fiennes movie? Because it is scary.
I don't remember.
It's very weird and funny.
Yeah, I guess it is funny.
How about The Happening? I hear that's pretty unintentionally funny and scary. Haven't seen it yet.
Nature Kills You.
The wind's coming to get us?
This is a good franchise too. Well, it's just two of them right now, but Happy Death Day. It's a Groundhog's Day with murder, essentially. Give those a go. And Happy Death Day 2.
I'll be honest.
The Mousetrap 2024, the first ever horror film containing Mickey Mouse who passed into public domain on January 1st, 2024. Got a 2 out of 10.
I remember hearing that. There's also a movie called Christopher Robin Blood and Honey or something like that. It's real bad. I watched it. That also became public domain.
Cocaine Bear?
Oh, that fits under there.
Oh, you know what? I'm actually going to put this in. The Shining is funny because Jack Nicholson's performance. And it's scary because it's Stanley Kubrick's direction.
I was about to close it out, but you reminded me. This gets you into creature feature. You have Eight-Legged Freaks, Tremors. Go back and see our Tremors. And now
Critters.
Slither, Gremlins maybe even.
Yeah.
Creature features where it's
creature
at.
features are... Arachnophobia's got some funniness, but that's pretty much just John Goodman's character.
Yeah. Let us know what you thought of our funny, scary movies, and tell us some that you like out there. You add some to our Halloween list this year. We have a couple good movies coming for you, so get ready for the rest of the spooky season.
Grab your candy and your popcorn and your trick-or-treat bag for this month's... I don't know where I was going with that.
Candy. Check in the next one.
Bye.